I want to talk, there's a lot of talk about culture. And culture, what I would posit is that it begins with a willing leader. Um, Being the person who's willing to go first and to really model it for your team, model it for what you want to create. Um, it sets the tone. So there's this reality, like you cannot shift a culture that you are not willing to lead from. This is not for observers. You absolutely have to be in there with your people. And it absolutely helps to embody it, to live it, to breathe it, to be it. And it really doesn't change when you talk about it, it changes when you live it. I say it all the time, don't talk about it, be about it. It is so much in the being. It is so much in the action. It is so much in who you are. There's this misconception with culture that can be fixed with like strategies or values on a wall. Or if we just do a motivational talk, or we do a workshop for a day or two, or a thing like a little pit stop, versus imbuing it in just principles and daily ways of living. You really want to shift culture. It's shifting an entire environment of how people operate. And it's the tipping point, essentially, to offer leadership to show up differently. So it's a conversation, essentially, on my reflection. I want to talk about how the power of vulnerability, like true strength is vulnerability, how vulnerability is contagious. It's an invitation. It shows people that they can actually be a part of. There's something about humans, we really don't follow what you say, we follow what you do. And it's a mirror. There's a lot of like replication of not only actions and behaviors, but principles or values. It's positively infectious at times. I think it's being the companies that have amazing cultures, there's a lot of vulnerability and there's emotional transparency and emotional honesty, but not like oversharing, or not false openness or like a saccharine way of being. It's being real, keeping it real, being real, which signals safety. And I think that's important too. You don't have to overindulge in something. You don't have to say everything that's there that you're thinking or feeling. Not everything's meant for everybody. And it's not a withhold, it's being more intentional. And it's also delegating when it's appropriate in certain circumstances and with certain people. So when I'm talking about a culture that way, it's important to be responsible for how you communicate and how you show up, and as a leader, be responsible, like 100% accountability for what you're bringing forth into that environment. Being intentional with the attention you're bringing to the culture you're trying to create. There's a thing that I've noticed, especially with myself, like when a leader drops the armor, it gives other people permission to do the same. And when a leader drops their armor, it gives the room time to exhale. And especially in positions where people are looking at you, you're always setting the tone, whether you want to or not. Whether you mean to or not is almost inconsequential, or I guess what you hope for isn't the point. Because it isn't really about your hopes and your wishes, it's in your actions and what you do. And the tone isn't just about your language, but the emotional posture, the way you carry yourself. As much as what you don't say, as much as you do say. There's so much power in a room from a leadership standpoint to use silence as strength, discernment, pause, time to hear what's happening in the room, and then understand when it's your place to actually make a statement that could alter a different perspective or shift different people's feelings and experiences. When you have that willingness, when you lead with willingness, it gives other people permission to be willing too. When you admit that you don't know everything, and that also you don't have to know everything, there's an innate, natural humility that invites other people then to also not have to know everything. So then they're more interested in being collaborative. They're more interested in community, which mathematically you're going to have more opportunity than just trying to do everything by yourself. It takes momentum, it takes effort, it takes work, it takes commitment, it takes intention, and it doesn't happen all at once. It's and it starts at the top. And it's not even so much trickle down. It's more, to me, I view it more like when like a rock hits a a lake or a pond, probably a pond, and then the ripples go. And those ripples will extend all the way to the shore and oftentimes beyond sight. And so the power of the opportunity to generate positive possibilities is immense. And it's much more efficient too to do it from the top, because then it just permeates throughout, you know? So it's almost like an invitation then, I guess. When you see this, or if you're hearing it, you know, where do you wait for permission to go first? I'd invite you to look at like one moment this week where you could, you know, model the culture that you want to create. It's, you don't necessarily need buy-in to start, you just need to make a beginning, you know? Just need the courage to make a beginning. Start. Look forward to hearing what you got to say. Let me know.